For this video, I want to talk about how you can still get progressive overload, utilize progressive overload in your workouts when you aren't able to increase weight, sets, or reps. Because although that's the number one way that most people are getting progressive overload, and just to reiterate what that is, progressive overload, I wrote about it in the strength training document, but if you haven't, or if you need a refresher, progressive overload is just where you are getting more load on your muscles over time. So that can be done by increasing weight, increasing sets, increasing reps in your workout to increase the load on your muscles, because that is how it is going to grow or get stronger. When you're starting off, or just in general, it's going to be easy to increase the weights and sets and reps, but eventually you're going to get to a point where it's going to be really hard to continuously always increase weight or increase your reps for an exercise, especially exercises that involve the smaller muscles like your rear delts, your shoulders, your biceps, triceps, things like that. It's going to be easier to increase the weight more consistently, like with your legs or with your chest or with your back. But especially with the smaller muscles, it's going to be hard to continuously increase because the weights are generally in 5-pound increments, and 5 pounds can be a big jump for those smaller muscles, just depending on where you're at in your lifting journey. So one way that you can still utilize progressive overload when you get to this point is by changing up the tempo of your workout or your exercise. Here's an example. You can see when I start off, I am doing like a normal tempo where I'm coming up and I'm not holding at the top, and I come back down. And then you can see how I change is I slow the tempo down. I count to 3 on the way up, or at least I'm trying to. I hold at the top for a second, and then I come back down. By changing the tempo for it to be slower and holding it at the top, you are putting more load on the muscles without having to increase the weight or increase the reps. So that is a really great way to utilize progressive overload through tempos. And if you have any questions on that, let me know so that you can implement that in your workouts and just get the most out of them.